Hey, my name is Crook Chocolate, and welcome to the end of season report. Part of Shades of Blues podcast, content season, streaming live on FanFest, and shout out to all of our Patreonies and also the people who eventually, when this drops, are watching on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up, like the video. It's the off season, so normally we can relax on tribalism, but we don't got to worry about that today because, honestly, saying all of this previous intro for the sake of it's what I say for every episode. But I'm here with my show, bro. So it's like it's a little weird. It's just like, wait, there's no for those people who are watching. We are covering Manchester City women. We're talking about the WSL, our baby blue baddies. And when I was thinking, I was like, I probably shouldn't welcome on Thom, but also like, who else would I talk to? Someone to lament on this wild season, think back on things one last time before we finally move on.
Turn the page.
You see him, you know him, you love him. He's been busy doing KC current things, big things. Give it up for Thom. Hello, friend.
Thank you. Hello. I was just saying before we went live, it had just been so long since we had done content together, and like it was feeling weird. So now, I'm back in the contact game with Crunk. So
it's so nice. And especially Mans is busy. He's been keeping himself busy. So I feel honored that he was able to find some time for little old me.
Oh yeah, right. little old you. Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh. So for people who, if this is your first time watching one of these episodes, I'm trying to write and talk. The way that this works is we have 5 categories. Kits, which it's 5 categories, but kits is broken into home, away, and third. And then we have manager, squad, supporters, and front office. From there, we will do the American style grading system, going back to school days, A through F. Feel free to use plus or minus. And honestly, if one is bad enough, of last week sometime, an English person was like, "Hey, I know we're supposed to be doing American grading, but there's a grade that's worse than F. Where you did so bad, you actually don't even get a grade. It's called a U. So if you feel so moved,
okay,
you give a U.
All right. I love that.
I know. When they told that to me, I was like, whoa. Like also, how bad in school do you have to be to just be like I know incompletes, like sure, but it's like they made a grade about it.
You just didn't try. Like you just
put your name
on the top. You put your name on the top of the paper and you turned it in. That is literally what you did.
Goodness, that's so wild. Oh man! So shout out to the English for that. Okay, well let's start with the kids. City overall smashed it this year when it came to kids, with my opinion. Obviously, other than, well, I don't know how you feel about it, but I wasn't entirely a fan of the Oasis kit. I guess I haven't checked the prices for it yet. I might buy it one day. I don't know, but I feel like there are a bunch of other kits that I'd much rather buy before I get this one. But luckily, we don't have to talk about that one at all. So we will start with the home kit, which I absolutely love. I adore. What are your thoughts on the kits, and what grade would you give it?
I gave that kit a solid A-. You expect the sky blue on there. Mm-hmm. The detailing on the sleeves and the collar, that was kind of nice. Mm-hmm. There's always, like, because of Puma's commitment to the club, there always is going to be a little bit of difference between the men and the women's kits, obviously with the shorts, with the women not wearing the white shorts. I just thought it was a well done kit, but nothing necessarily spectacular about it. But it evoked the ethos of the team, which is what the home kit is supposed to do. So solid A- for me.
Yeah, no, that's great. And shout out to Puma, where they're taking over. The soccer ball for the Premier League. They just signed a new deal for that. I have it actually it's too far away to grab, but I got the ball. The one that will be used for the league is purple. I got a different colorway than that one, but it's an amazing ball. It's really nice. And I plan on getting another one in a different colorway for when I like travel and I want to kind of get into nonsense. Like, Henny Derby, I'm looking at you. So I would love to take football with and see what kind of shenanigans, right? Nutmeg a bunch of people walking by, just nutmeg them the entire time. That'd be a great, that's content in itself, just me nutmegging people. And then naturally getting incredibly drunk because it's the Henny Derby. So what else are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I gotta embrace the lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, A- is it's very solid. I don't really care about my grading, but I agree with that. I like the kit. I don't hate it.
No, I will say this. I think one of the things that like downgrades the kits to me was that all of the kits had the unless it was like one of the league kits, whether you had the WSL name set or the PL name set, they all had that Oasis font, which
I always mix the brothers up. I can't remember if it was Noah or Liam. I think it was Liam. It was one of their handwritings, and that's what it was.
Okay, well, I mean,
they write like a child.
He can write let him just write songs and not names.
Do they even write their songs nowadays? Respectfully.
You about to get in a whole bunch of trouble.
I'm definitely clipping that.
Bunch of trouble.
What do some Oasis fans? I ain't scared of you guys. Just make it worse. Oh, see, Thom Bomb shows back up in my life, and I immediately get myself into trouble.
Right. Petulance comes out right away.
Oh, sorry. This is more pod me than off-season chills. This is great.
This is you. Sometimes you gotta make sure that you can still do it in the off season.
Oh yeah, so gotta see it. Heat check.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still feeling it. We're still good. We're out here. Okay, what away kit? I actually have all three kits. I like to show you that I have all three kits. I had to think about that. I was like, wait, I actually have all three of the kits. A+, a little nod at history. You love it.
I think the nod at history, but making it modern. Just that solid, B colored situation. Making sure that the stripes are vertical as opposed to horizontal. So for the people who can't really pull off the horizontal stripes, because not everybody can do that. But everybody can pull off the vertical stripes. So I feel like it's forgiving to the fans, it's forgiving to the players. It's a great nod at history. You just see that there's something about having that bright yellow coming at you. That's just so I dig that. With the black background, I no notes. 10 out of 10. A+.
Yeah, I technically like the third kit more just because I'm a fan of it's close enough to purple, but I'm a fan of purple. It's like a magenta. It's like a maroon. Who was it? Was it Natty? I think it was Natty for giving me shit for us basically jacking their color, and it's like, whoa, rude.
Not gonna lie, that was my least favorite of the three. And I'm probably gonna give that a C+.
Really?
I thought that the gold accents on it were smart. I like that. And I think for the women, like it's a good, to me, it would have been a good one for you to wear if you would have been defending a trophy. And we will get into that, but not only were we not defending a trophy, we didn't win no trophies. So it was difficult to see us in it and not have trophies. That's where I'm at with that one.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, it does kind of feel like regal, and yeah, a patch of some sort would look really nice on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we do have to talk about how the season went, don't we? Okay, so next topic is manager. I guess we can go at this either way. You can grade both managers. You can grade just whatever manager. You do what you want. I would, yeah. I'm interested in what you're gonna do. What you're gonna give.
I'm actually gonna be nice, and I'm gonna give an incomplete for the entirety of the managerial season because I don't know if Spin the Block dude was.
Garrett played like 70% of, he led 70% of the season though.
Incomplete. Like incomplete because
I hear what you say, but
here's the deal. Here's the deal because and I think maybe this is Charlie's impact on me. Who is to say that if Gareth Taylor is allowed to coach in the League's Cup final, maybe that's the trophy that Man City wins this season. And maybe that's what would have ultimately saved his job. I don't know. Just the timing of when he was let go and when Cushing was brought in, just all of that was messy.
Yes.
And like it kind of like there's a lot of what ifs, coulda, woulda, shoulda sort of thing. And I would be remiss to say that like basically he was not given the opportunity to go out there and win the trophy that would have kept his job. And maybe his job was done anyway. But I think that goes to a different grade, and we will get there later.
Oh,
because that grade will be rough.
I mean, I'm with you, especially obviously hindsight. Looking back on things, especially like they made the move to potentially save the rest of the season. And I agree with that. Obviously, there are certain people who don't agree with that at all. Like the homie Alexis Monteith. Like, don't get him started on this whole situation. He was so hot at how they did Garrett Taylor.
He was not happy at all.
and then how badly they played. I mean, he's not wrong, and that's really kind of what it is. Like if he would have came out and things would have went well, then everybody looks like a genius. But
well, I feel like those first two matches against Chelsea, like I do feel like they played well. Like even in the League Cup match that they lost, like they played a brand of football that we had not been seeing, and like that press was way more aggressive than we had been used to seeing under Gareth in that first match. And then that second match, like to actually be able to win against Chelsea in the Champions League, that's a big deal. So I think I will give him grace on the first two matches. I think that the performances were there. Maybe the results weren't necessarily what you wanted, but the performances were there, right? And then after that, it was like, oh, part of it was like, oh, I ain't got no bodies. And part of it is like, oh, I ain't got no imagination.
Yeah. And Well, and like he gets there, it's announced, and before he's really even able to talk, all the rumblings is that he just wants to use the club as a jumping stone to stay in City Football Group. So that already the vibes are negative. And then he's asked about it, and he basically says yes. So then the vibes are really bad, and it's a new manager bounce. So of course the ladies are like pushing and running and trying hard. Like it's a new manager, they feel freer, all of that stuff. And like you said, they fell off a cliff, and I do. It's because the spin the block dude had no creativity. He wasn't able to get anything out of the players. And what I specifically hated was he was constantly putting it on. Like I never heard him say, "Well, I need to think of something. I need to look at what I'm doing. Maybe there's something I can do." It was all just the ladies. They need to try harder. They need to believe in themselves. They need to do this. They need to do that. They need to do this. And that shit pissed me off after listening to it week after week after week.
Like any and I get that like as a manager, like you are never like the ways that you call out your players should be selective in particularly your comments to the media. So basically what we as fans will hear. And that stated, like you're not a new manager necessarily, but you are new to a good percentage of these players. And maybe they might respond differently to like, oh, like there's some players that I need to, play more direct or take on players more, or players that I need them to show more patience. Or there was never anything that was stated in the media that really made you think that like, oh, there is really good tactical direction being given here. Like even when you hear like Kirsten Casper, I talk about the last match of the season where like they went down early, and then how they talked about in the second half they came back and was like, oh yeah, we were just a lot more organized and were more fundamentally sound. And they're like, oh, well, what? I'm sorry, like what? Why were we not fundamentally sound and organized before? Like, and like, how long has this not being fundamentally sound and organized been going on? Like, is this something that happened when you came in, or is this something that predates you, or like what's really the deal?
Yeah, I guess this is technically an announcement, a precursor. On the 1st, it's at like 3 p.m. But I'm recording with Inside MCFW or MCWFC. They do really good work. They basically cover City Women just like City Extra and City Women Extra and stuff like that. So I technically I know who is a part of the group, but I also don't know who's a part of the group. So I'm excited to chat with them and kind of get their perspective on things and hear their thoughts because like there were certain times where I would even have conversations with people like in DMs and some things we'd agree on, some things we'd disagree on, and and also what's going on with Andres Jerglitz? Like what's going on with this? Like we haven't heard anything.
Like, is it like are we really just waiting for the Danes to crash out in the group stage of the Euros before he's announced?
Do you think that that's what it is?
I mean,
because all the word is that he's going to be the manager. So it's like, why are we waiting?
If that is what it is, like City is too big of a club for that to happen. Even if the women have not won the league in quite some time, City is too big of a club to allow that to happen. Like that cannot be the answer. Like we have to do better as a club. Like we should not be waiting for any manager. Like honestly, we should be like, a team like Angel City. Like, I mean, they didn't necessarily grab that manager right away, but it was known that right after Bayern season, he was going to Angel City. Even the new team in NWSL, they Boston Legacy, they announced their coach from Portugal and got her right away. So I'm not really sure what the issue is. And I'm also like a little bit leery. Like, I know that he's got a Champions League trophy on his resume, but that's been some years ago. And I know that, I'll put it this way. Having watched Vlatko Andonovski coach a country team in the U.S. women's national team, and then covering him and the way that he coaches a club team, there are some managers that are just club managers. Like, they are not country managers. There's some managers that just manage for a country. And I think that, like, that goes for both the men and the women's side. It does, like, that's not necessarily specific to the women's game. That stated, like, do we know that he still got the chops to be a club manager? Like,
so what I will say is, for our Man United women's season review, had the homie Holloway, and she is Danish, and so she has she knows the manager very well, and she agreed that it is. I told her about the Pernell Hard Earned Prey, and agreed that that's what it is. But she's when he first showed up, they played a more fun, sound style of football, but it came pretty obvious that if they wanted success, like, it almost is, hey, we got to rely on Pernell. Said when going to City, a much more balanced squad. So she does believe that he'll be able to do some really good things on it. On the squad. I agree. It's been damn near 2 decades since he won the Champions League, and he's won Manager of the Year and all that stuff. Just because of that, he will, I guess, like, the players have to respect that. And I think that that's a good step. And from there, he's going to have to do the rest. He's going to have to show the players what his pedigree is, and that he can point the women to the right direction and lead them to success. I'm trying, after Gareth and the frustrations we've had with him, and then with splitting the block dude, I'm gonna be team Andres when he gets here, and he's gonna have my open support until at least for a first season, honestly, because Sophia they won a freaking domestic treble, but then you hear Sills and Andre talk about her.
Man,
and you would think that they lost.
They want that lady. They want that lady gone so bad.
She literally won 3 trophies for them, and you would think that they have ruined her life. Like, it's hilarious.
Hey, not everyone can hold Barcelona goalless in a leg of the Champions League.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Okay, that was a pretty good chat about the management. I feel much better. Okay, next topic category is the players. Obviously, injuries made things very difficult, but also management didn't help. What are your thoughts? What is the grade that you would give the players? And
as Charlie has stated, health is wealth, right?
Yes.
And Manchester City women, they had some overdraft fees. That definitely happened in that category. I will say this. I will say that fully healthy, I don't think that any line of the team, from goalkeeping to defense to midfield to attack, if fully healthy, none of those lines drop below a B, right? If fully healthy, but that's not the world that we lived in. So based off of who was available when, I would say overall, starting at goalkeeping, I'm gonna give that a B minus. There were Yamashita was I'm not gonna say that she was a huge improvement over Kiara Keating, but I think that having Yamashita around was big for Kiara Keating's development as a goalkeeper.
Yes.
I think she needed that veteran that was invested and involved. Again, invested and involved. And I'll let you think about previous veteran goalkeepers that were here, invested, involved.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like, what are you talking about? We had multiple keepers that were on there that were elders, that were also
invested and involved.
And picking up what you're putting down.
The back line, this is so I felt like the fullbacks as a whole, knowing that Rizu Shimita was not available for the squad all season, and I think that the work that Layla Wahami and Kirsten Kasparai put in all season, knowing that they were going to have to start every match, every time, pretty much, and play the full 90, I'm going to give them an A minus. Like there were some times that they messed up, but players fuck up too. Like it just is what it is. Now that center back spot. I'll put it this way. I'm glad that Alex Greenwood is healthy.
Yes.
Rebecca Canuck is a revelation to me. Like, I mean, she was playing so well that Germany was like, you know what? Come over here. There are some games that we need you for. And then she got hurt.
Like, oh wait, she's good. Oh, she's good.
Right.
Who knew?
Yeah. And like just her presence in the air, like not just like on set pieces, both defensively and in attack. Like she was a weapon. Like, and I think that made a big difference. The two center backs that man played for all 360 minutes again. Oh no, I'm sorry, because that one Spanish midfielder, she subbed out in the. But why?
Take your time.
You know what's up when you like. There's a reason why Tiffany Haddish would say, "Oh, she ready." And you ever seen somebody who is the complete and total antithesis of that? That was Gracie Pryor. She was not, in fact, ready. She was not ready. She was not, in fact, ready. And that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes, like based off of injury. Yeah, sometimes based off of injuries, you gotta, hey, I need you to rough through it. Like, with just a couple matches, like, okay, we got somebody with some more experience behind you, somebody who's got some more, I don't know, athletic gifts, who might not read the game as well as you do, but is still able to, I don't know, like, not get burned on a counter. And then the fact that we had a Spanish midfielder playing defense, girl bye is all I have to say to that.
They did so, like, not to derail this, we might as well just stay on this whole Leia conversation. The goodbye that they gave her, the roses and the post-match speech, and she's been here for 3 seasons. Like, what are we doing?
Why was she the one wearing the captain's armband when Alex Greenwood was gone? Because
and everybody knows she's leaving.
To me, Kirsten Casper, I did more captain-y things, like appeared more captain-ly to me than any other player that was on the pitch. And if you're going to give it to somebody who's just been in the club for 3 seasons, well, why not give it to somebody that you know is going to stay? Anyway, good riddance.
I forgot she was given the captaincy. That's so crazy. That's
good riddance to her.
It just felt a lot like the whole like Kyle Walker situation where we're doing this to make you feel good, maybe get you to like focus and hunker down, and then in the end you still Kyle Walker was pushed out the door, rightfully so. But yeah, and I'm actually happy that I say it, flops. Shout out to them. When this whole lie situation, I remember seeing one of their tweets, and they're like, "Why is everybody like being so nice about Laya? Like, it's not that big of a deal. I haven't been impressed with anything she's done this year. Why are we making such a big deal about this?
Bye, girl, bye."
Like, it was so weird seeing the the roses and everything, and she was eating it up, of course. But I don't think it made us look like a classy club, establishment, organization. It just felt weird.
Whatever.
It felt like she might have told somebody that that's something that she wanted, and obviously this is just speculation. But it just all felt like we were just doing this to appease a player that we knew were leaving us, and it's like, why? Yeah. The rest of the squad. Sorry.
going to the midfield. Because Yui Hasegawa played so much, I simply cannot make it lower than a B. I can't. I just it's Yui. She's playing out of position, and she's one of the best at the position that she's playing out of in the world. She is one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, and that is not the position that she plays. Point blank, period, stop. That's it. And I think that Jess Park probably kind of slowed down a little bit from last season.
Yes.
I think once Bunny got hurt, Viv was no longer able to play in the midfield as that second striker sort of situation, which kind of hurt. But I think that what we were able to run out was still a solid midfield, and even the attack was still solid, even after Bunny was hurt, even after Lauren Hemp was hurt. Mary Fowler was
everything.
Mary Fowler and Lauren Hemp still led the league in goal contributions. Who does that? That's insane. And the fact that Bunny Shaw still won the Golden Boot and didn't play a third of the season. Think about that.
Now she's going to be rested. She's going to be healthy. All of the time that she's spending with friends. She just donated a bunch of football gear to her old high school. So she's fulfilling herself spiritually. She's doing the things that we finally got photos of her. Sharpie and I were sending each other photos of the fact that the second she got in the shirt, and he was like, we have her back. Because we were talking about it in the final weeks of the year, where I'm just I don't know, the way that this is acting and the way that Spin the Block dude would talk about Bunny, not necessarily talk about her. They would be okay, is Bunny any closer to getting on the pitch? And he would just say, she is not in my plans. And to just sweep past a player like that in a statement that,
what she means for the club, what she means for the team at large, and for you to say that, that don't sit right with me.
Yeah, and it just ever since like I said before, she's not in my plans. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? Is she injured? Is she not injured? Like, is she trying to? Is she still reeling from the racismo? Like, that's all of the stuff is okay. We just need to know something. Obviously, she's not in your plan. She's not playing. But like, can we make some sense out of this?
Something, because that, yeah. So, I guess overall, I give the players a B minus. B, yeah. I mean, it's not like you can only judge the squad on the results that they had on the pitch. I get that, and I also understand that, you know, like we had a lot of injuries throughout the season, and like that hurt the team. Like,
Yeah.
You know, when your captain goes down, like that hurts a lot.
Most definitely. Yeah, B minus is accurate. That's exactly what I would give. Honestly, doing the men next week, and that's probably I'd give them about the same score, a B minus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Supporters is the next category. I think because I still do Twitter specifically because of WOSO. Like WOSO on that app is still very live. It isn't like NWSL is great on Blue Sky, but WSL,
Yeah, you definitely need to
it's
be
still very
tapped
much
in.
on there. Yeah, and to be tapped in with the people that I'm tapped in with, and honestly, they've handled everything pretty well. They've definitely supported the club. They had no problem like laughing at the season and everything that's been going on and happening, but everybody's still going to the games, being super hopeful, and kind of was just like, it is what it is. I'm actually very proud of the women's sect of the supporters group. They handled the season much better than the men's side did.
Yes, I would say that, and I think that that's just kind of part of WOSO as a whole, is that like
That's fair.
the ability to like kind of like laugh at yourself or laugh at your team as a whole is way more evident than it is in Broso. But that stated, I would definitely give Manchester City women's fans an A for this. Some of their online content has been great in support of the players. Notice how I said players. Some of their just the way that they came in back throughout the season was fantastic. Going to the Etihad when Gareth Taylor embarrassed y'all in public, like in the Manchester Derby, like just what I mean. If that's not fan support, I don't know what is. that's what I got on that. Like I have to give them an A for that.
Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them. Yeah, I can't argue. Ooh, but the final category, the one I am most excited to hear. Front office. What are your thoughts, and what grade would you give them?
So I believe that you were telling me that the English have a grade that is below the F. That is a U.
It is a U.
Yes, that is what the Manchester City Women's Football Club front office gets. They get a U. Everything having to do with the post the Arsenal match, the in-season Arsenal match, the league Arsenal match with Bunny, like not coming out with a statement that was very strong, not supporting Bunny, whatever the fuck it was that was going on with Gareth Taylor, and then deciding that going back to getting that old thing back was the move, to get a caretaker manager, being here in this position where there is not a manager in the building as of yet, and you have 3 international tournaments going on, starting at the end of the month or this month, that's a problem. Like, this should be the time where you're scouting, let me make sure that I have some people going to Ecuador for Copa America Femenina. Let me make sure that I got somebody in Switzerland holding that down. Let me make sure I got somebody at WAFCON looking into that. And yet, here we are waiting. Are we really waiting for the Danes to just crash out in the group stage? And what happens if the Danes advance? Are you because then you're here are all of these, because you don't really know how the manager wants to play. If you don't have that set up, you don't know what type of players that you're looking for. So you could have all of these wonderful performances for targets that City might have, but is that target gonna necessarily play well within the framework of what City's new manager is gonna give them? I don't know that. Do you know that? No. And this is all things that City's front office should have been taking care of before. I don't know how you ended the season and did not say hey, these are the candidates that we have. This is the deadline that you have to be in Manchester, inking that contract by. That's, to me, that's malpractice. And I guess just if we were going to take it to the men's side, if who's my man that's replacing Cheeky?
Hugo Viana.
If Viana knows that Pep is at the end of this contract, Pep is out, and he doesn't have a list of candidates, and saying this is your deadline to sign, knowing that let's say that Pep's last season is next season, knowing that the World Cup is coming up, and knowing that you're going to have players that are going to perform for their country, and basically that's an audition for club as well, that we would call that malpractice on his part to not have that list and not have the manager in the building prior to the start of the tournament. And I think that that's just what this is, by not having a manager in the building right now.
So I'm with you all. I'm just trying to make sense. Again, me trying to be hopeful and positive and make sense of this, because it does.
And that's not even to talk about the fact that Bunny still has not signed a contract extension.
That is the scariest thing.
And to that point, would you sign a contract extension if you don't even know who the coach is?
I'm just hoping that in this first interview for the Worlds that he goes, yes, after this I will be stepping down to become the manager of Man City. I'm hoping that they're just letting him say it. But if we get into the competition and nothing has been confirmed, I'm going to give them to after the day after the first game that they play. If after that we still haven't got a confirmation, because after the first game you should be able to be okay, ladies, I know you've heard a lot of rumblings. This will be my last competition with you all. I appreciate you. I thank you. Let's go out strong. But also, he could have done that. They've gone and done international breaks before, so it's very confounding. What is happening? What are you doing? What is
I based off of who is in their group, that would be Sweden, Germany, and Poland. And they play them in that order. I would expect after match day 2, Denmark will know their fate at that point. So at that point, we should know whether or not Denmark's going to advance, and we should know that he is coming or not.
I haven't. Everybody see again. This is the shout out to the supporters. Everybody is just joking. Wow, we've signed 2 players before we signed a manager. That's all everybody's saying. Like it just kind of like because all you can do is laugh at it. You're just like, what is
now? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Jay Rose is a promising young center back, and the fact that she has flexibility to play outside back as well is great. I'll take that. I'll sign up for that. Clearly, we needed center back depth. But then again, did we? I mean, Naomi Lazelle is right there. She's right there, and she's 22. That's the 23. Excuse me. That's the other thing too. That's frustrating. Like, okay, you didn't play this player in lieu of a 19-year-old, and it wasn't like Lazelle didn't get minutes for Bristol City last season, so it's not like she doesn't understand the league.
And no, when she was on, she would do great. Like I was, and again, it like yes, athleticism doesn't fix everything, but if you get beat, if you're faster, that helps. You're able to kind of catch up in reality, and you could just see on top of Gracie not having the experience, so she's already timid. And then she's not the fleetest of foot. She is not the most agile, so she would get beat, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and then she's running, and she just like it just was a bad combination. And then for like Gracie to get all that playing time and Naomi to get none, and then Oyama not getting any playing time. Like I'm just thankful that Riza's gonna be back, so that's basically a new player. I assume Oyama's going to get some playing time, so that's basically a new player.
Right.
We then have the new players that are in. We have Amon, Rose. I hope we actually bring in another midfielder. I would like just one more, just because you never. I'd like to believe Viv will stay healthy, but she's about to do a competition.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the secret. Like that. The dirty secret of WOSO that nobody wants to tell you is that there is a shortage of box-to-box midfielders, and which is why you're seeing so many teams go into a double pivot now, because there aren't the midfielders there to get box-to-box and break up play. So I think that we need to be unlocking Blinky a lot more than we are.
Yeah.
Because I think that she is going to be the key for development for the next season.
I know a lot of people who are very high on her, and she still looks very green, which understandably so. She's so tiny.
Yes. And like Georgia Stanway wasn't that big either. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I think that like, as she gets older, like she'll put on more muscle that like, so that she can kind of like bounce off of some of those tackles, and it'll be easier for her to break up play. But I think she is probably the most like, the player that City needs to improve the most in order for their season to go the way that they want it to, because it cannot be the year of our Lord 2026 and Laura Coombs still be trotting out their plan thing.
And
love you, Coombsy. Love you
so much.
Love you down.
Truly, I love you, Coombs.
And no, it can't be you.
Like,
it can't be.
Yeah, especially the end of the season, it showed it. Where like I do like I love me some Coombs. 2 seasons ago I was like, man, why is it Coombs getting more playing time? And this season I was like, yeah, Coombs is getting some playing, and I was like,
maybe that ain't what we want.
And then Spin the Block dude was playing her basically as like an attacking role, when it's like she should technically probably be more box to box. Like, why is she up ahead trying to like
You
do
you wonder
volleys
why,
and
and
stuff.
you wonder why Jill left, and it was like that man was making her play box to box midfield.
Seeing Roar's like obviously player happiness, player mental health, that all goes top, that all goes key. But
She needed to go back to the crib, like that. Like
I mean, and she's even said that. Yeah, she's just like,
she's like, I need to go back home.
I
And
haven't
like,
I haven't been happy. It's best to be a giant fish in a lake than to be one of the many.
yeah.
Like it's yeah. Yeah, then the Chloe Kelly situation. Like, man, this has been a wild ass season. It's been and like I think the club is gonna have to
Messy.
prove them.
It's
Yeah.
been messy all season.
And the club is gonna have to really prove themselves. We're not gonna get a big name. A big name's not gonna want to come to City until
For who? For what?
exactly. We don't have the Champions League, but also like we just have such a bad history of treating players badly, and obviously that was tied to one specific person, but he still had to work for an organization that allowed him to do that.
Yes.
So like until like all the vibes can change and grow and players can kind of spread the gospel of Manchester City, yeah, we're just gonna have to find the Jade Rhodes, the reason bring half of the Japanese team to Manchester City.
Oh my God. I'm already freaking out about Asian Cup because like that just means that Yui's gonna be gone for a month. I'm already freaking out about it.
Like technically like a third of our squad is gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like obviously Kiera finished the season strong. I would like to believe that after the Euros.
I think that like that charge above her head was probably a really messing with her because like she's really like again
she's still young.
She's so young.
She's so young.
Yeah, and like them charges being dropped, I'm sure like it would not surprise me to see her play with more confidence next season when she is able to play.
Yeah,
just because of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's plenty to look forward to. So yeah, good. Well, we had this conversation. Now we can fully move on from.
We're turning the page. We're turning the page.
Page is turned. In fact, throwing that book out. I'm just gonna start a new one, a new blank page. Well, Tom Bomb, thank you for your time. Please let listeners and viewers know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Well, you can find me at CPKC Stadium because I'm there a lot. You can find me on the 12th, where we talk about all things WSL on and off the pitch. You can find me on the Shea Butter FC feed with the current moment, where we keep you current on all things KC current. And of course, you can find me on the original flagship show, Shades of Blue, talking Manchester City, the most comprehensive Manchester City podcast in the United States. That's right.
Oh, man. Well, this was fun.
Yes.
Back at it bright and early in the morning tomorrow. I will be welcoming on the She-Goals to talk about Brighton women.
Yes.
And then tomorrow night, welcome on our Arsenal podcast in our network, Arsenal 86. Byron and Paulina will be joining me to talk about Arsenal. So plenty of things to look forward to. Thank you for everybody for joining us.
Yes.
And until next time, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.